Hello, everybody. This is Crypto Davy podcast. We're here today with Niall from Reddio, and we're going to discuss the Reddio project in detail. So, Niall, could you give me a brief introduction about Reddio, what your blockchain is about, and how do you plan to innovate the layer 2 space?
Yeah, thank you, David, for having me. So I'm Neil, founder of Reddio. So Reddio is a parallel EVM layer 2 sitting on top of Ethereum. So the blockchain is accelerated by GPU. So currently we are able to offer 12,000 transactions per second with a potential another 10 times future performance enhancement to be optimized in future. So the blockchain, the issue we are trying to tackle is definitely the scalability. Right now, if you look at the landscape of layer twos, after OP stack of optimism, there's no more innovation. There's ZK layer 2, there's OP layer 2, but look at the ZK layer 2, the performance is being slow and lack of EVM compatibility. Basically, you can't achieve the two together. So Reddio is here to solve that issue. We offer ZK-based layer 2, fully EVM compatible, at the same time high performance. The reason we are able to achieve that is definitely because of the parallelization we have been working on, and also the GPU acceleration help to boost the performance.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very interesting that you're planning to tackle the layer 2 problem. I do agree with you that ZKSync has seen, I'd say, problems with development and the lack of real user base. So basically, from what I'm seeing, there were a lot of airdrop farmers in the upcoming of the project, and then the whole thing kind of faded and there's not much activity there, and they're trying to bootstrap their own liquidity layer by their ZKSync Ignite program. And is Reddio planning to do something in the DeFi space to kind of renovate and get the user base? Because from my point of view, any chain has to have real utility, and by real utility I mean TVL on the blockchain itself. And the only way to increase the TVL is by bootstrapping liquidity on your own chain to make everybody who's ready to provide liquidity very happy with doing so by providing high APR. So my base question here is, do you plan to develop the DeFi layer on top of your fast ZK proof layer 2 solution?
Yeah, it's not an easy question to answer, because if you talk about the TVL, it's actually a holistic approach to tackle that. It's not like you tell the users we have like a 10% APY with our token airdrop to you. You get that APY, and the user will be willing to deposit the fund there. Because to the users, there are multiple choices in the market, right? So when we look into this TVL and the user liquidity issue, we actually looking into initially what are the issues we are to tackle. From there, we move backward how we can attract the users to put more liquidity there. So from there, right, from DeFi related issues, we are trying to solve the issues like MEV, like the high slippage fee for the swap, right? Why we are able to do that? Because we are a fast blockchain. We are able to even cater to orderbook based dapps. So that's where that slipper fee, high fee issue is kind of resolved with that orderbook based dapps approach. That's where we have companies like Orderly, Dgate, and our native.org, I think, who is founded by the co-founder of Doodoo, being the native DEX providers for our blockchain. At the same time, we actually using a decentralized approach for the layer 2. Basically, the block generation is decentralized sequencer, where we are not on it, not anyone is controlling the sequencing of the blocks generation to kind of solve the MEV issues for DEX. So with these two issues resolved, we are able to attract the DEX who offer a fair game to the users. So in the long run, the users were gaining the benefit from these features we offer, and to basically allow more users interested to come into the blockchain. We also have these we call it a vault program or CD5 program, where the user, whenever they deposit the fund to layer 2, if they don't do anything, they got a basic kind of interest rate from our partners who are doing DeFi or hygiene fund, or doing a DeFi kind of related fund to manage the fund automatically. That's where they have the basic fund. The user is also actually able to choose which fund they can park, so that they have a different returns on their extra fund deposited into the layer 2s. So that's the two things we have been working on. The third thing is look at the future of the trading. We are seeing more and more AI agent coming in to do the trading. That's where we are actually launching a blockchain-based LLM very soon, where the blockchain LLM can getting the data instantaneously from the blockchain, and the agent can tap on those data from the LLM to do a smart trading for blockchain directly. Hopefully that help the bots and agent can make more smart choices on the trading. So basically, that's the things we have been working on. So that's what we think from a holistic perspective, we are able to solve the fundamental issues of the fund usage, make full use of the fund available from the user's deposit, and at the same time attract the users to move more fund into our blockchain.
Yeah, that's great. You mentioned that you're working on a technology basically where the users that just deposit their funds to your chain will get a native API. As I understand it, is that already live? Because I'm seeing the deposit tab on Reddio actually. I'll show this to the listeners. So through Reddio, you can already deposit from Ethereum mainnet with different assets. Like ETH, USDT, and Stone, which is a wrapped version of ETH. Does that already give you some sort of API, or is that just in your future plans?
Yeah, so the current one is because currently our layer 2 is not on mainnet yet. It's a public testnet. The current deposit is actually depositing our layer 1 vault smart contract, where based on that information, the user will get airdrop once we do TGE. The staking actually take a majority of the portion for airdrop. So once our mainnet is launching, the fund will be moved to layer 2. That's where the user will have the access to the fund management I was just mentioning, or the vault management I was mentioning. Basically, before their mainnet launch, they enjoy the airdrop, potentially get a decent API. After mainnet launch, they will have more choices for different fund to manage their fund, and at the same time to get extra APIs. We depend on the performance of the fund. We may also doing the airdrop for certain protocols. So that will be a long-term thing from there. Yeah.
You also mentioned that you're partnering with Orderly protocol, if I heard it right. And I have a question: how do you utilize Orderly? Because we, as Crypto David community, have been in touch with Orderly, and we have also been using that protocol. We find it very fascinating in terms of the capabilities it has and the future perspectives for the project. And it is very interesting for me to hear how you will combine their basically price feeds and liquidity within your chain to bootstrap trading fast, efficient, and slippage free. Basically, this is kind of my broad question.
Yeah, so for orderly, because we are still on the public testnet, it will take a step-by-step approach where they will connect to our network first, so that they are able to support the tokens on our network. So once that one is done, they're also looking into launching, because the current order book is actually off-chain. They are looking to have an on-chain order book in the future. So our blockchain definitely can support that kind of transaction concurrency if they are willing to do that. We actually have another technology stack called decentralized modular sequencer SDK that actually help the company launch their own layer 2 or layer 3. If our layer 2 capacity is too congested for order book like orderly, they actually have the choice to launch their own layer 2 or layer 3 with our technical stack. So that's basically where we are working towards to. It will be a phase by phase, but we're definitely looking forward to all the full capacity we can work out from this partnership.
The next question I had for you is basically what apps do you plan to bring on chain, and what will be the native apps for the Reddio ecosystem? Are there any specific apps which are being basically developed, and is there anything that we as Crypto community can look into for basically keep an eye on to track Reddio's progress in becoming the top layer 2?
Yeah, there are 40 plus companies already deploy the company-wide smart contract onto the network. There are about 500 developers deploy their own. So from the apps specific to the chain perspective, we are focusing a few use cases. One is the AI inferencing on blockchain, because in the past, the AI inferencing is actually all off-chain. So because of the capacity and because we are having a GPU natively running all the smart contract, the developers start to move some of the logic onto the blockchain. So companies like AI16Z and Add-on Network has been the partners of us doing that. So there are other use cases more for fast blockchain. Because of the fast blockchain, they are able to do, for example, the orderbook big stacks, the on-chain games, and also the like a micro payment use case. So these there are apps in different categories, like native, orderly for the on-chain book, orderbook on-chain. For games, there are a few mini games they're gonna launch the games very soon. And the micro payment, for example, Alchemy Pay has been the partner of us doing that use case. So that's some of the apps you guys can, as an audience, can keep an eye on. At the same time, we are launching more and more users and partners throughout Twitter very soon.
Yeah, that's great. So last question before we wrap it up. I wanted to ask about the Discord roles, and do those play a big part in basically joining your community and potential rewards? Because it is very interesting from the user perspective side to dive into the community full head on, but basically to make a decision to do so, you'd have to basically know that your actions are potentially incentivized. This is what I'm asking. Will the Discord roles, as you mentioned, liquidity will have a big part in the upcoming airdrop and TG, and will Discord roles be basically a potential point where users can farm more points and airdrops from Reddio.
Yeah, so the airdrop for the task and social quests are definitely important to us too. That's where the community can help to spread the word of Reddio's uniqueness to their friends and their colleagues or other people through social medias, right? So that's we definitely take into the account. But we as a company focusing on blockchain, that's not the only thing we do, right? That's where we also counting in the staking, counting in the on-chain activity together as a holistic overview on how we can allocate the tokens to different category of the users. But if you are, like you prefer to do social questing the most, we definitely welcome you to do that. So we are based on the tiers and level of engagement to reward the users from there.
Okay, thank you very much. I guess that can wrap up our AMA for today. Thank you very much, Niall, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and very nice to hear some insights on the Reddio project. We hope to do great business with you. Thank you.
Thank you again, David.